Hello everyone! So today's drawing may seem a little weird, a floating head and a headless body, but don't worry, this head and body will soon be completed because this is actually a collab with Baylee Jae, and she will finish this line art that I'm drawing over at her channel and give it some colors and all that good stuff. And she's also drawing a single head and a body for me that I'm gonna finish right after I'm done with this part. So it is like a partial line art swap. It is like the game you play when you're little, when someone draws the head and someone else draws the body. And to make it even more fun and interesting, this will also be a free marker challenge. We're going all in today, so stay tuned for that. So the theme we picked for this collab to make it more unified is well-dressed cats, because we're both crazy cat ladies. And I chose to base my cat's clothes off the 20s fashion because I really like the straight lines and all the layers of different clothing like bow tie, vest, coats and so on. I think it looks very stylish. Also, my granddad was born in the 20s and soon we are living in the 20s in just 2 years from now. That is crazy. And off to Baylee it goes. So here's Baylee's piece that she made for me to finish and to color, and it is so adorable. Her way of drawing cats is so cute. So her piece is based off the Baroque and the Rococo era, so of course I had to give my gentleman cat a fancy wig, you know, the curly white one. And I was also super excited to be drawing a pretty dress for the lady kitten. And after I'm done with the first sketch, I scanned it and then I redrew it in Photoshop. It is just easier to move things around and resize things and all that stuff. And then I printed Baylee's line art again and I matched it up to the sketch on the computer screen. And then I traced the head and the dress over to the line art. I often trace my Photoshop sketches this way. It saves me paper and I just think it's easier this way than messing around with a light board and stuff, because my light board is super big. And while I'm inking this piece, let's talk about Baylee and her channel. We actually made a collab once before, almost exactly 2 years ago I think, where we made a mythical creature line art swap. I don't know if you can remember that. It really feels like ages ago, and I mean it's been ages, but I believe both our art and art style has changed a lot since then, so I think it's really fun that we're collaborating again. And I am pretty sure that most of you know who Baylee is, but if you're not familiar with her and her work for some reason, let me try to explain. She has a very bright and cartoony art style, and even if it is colorful, it is still soft and round. I don't know how to explain it. It is just so clean and nice to look at. It is so pleasing to the eye and I really love it. Her way of blending Copic markers is just gorgeous. She also has a great sense of humor. I always find her commentary and video topics fun and interesting to listen to. And there is always a variety in the content, all from art challenges to trying out different art mediums, tutorials. She even wrote her own how to draw book. I will leave a link to her video and to her channel down in the description box below, so go check it out, give her some love and say hello from me. Alright, so let's move on to the free color challenge. So I'm using the Jazza Arty game app to pick the markers because it is really smooth and easy to use. I was about to just throw all my markers in a basket and pick them randomly, but nah, I'm too lazy. I don't want to sort them afterwards. So the colors I will use are E93, B23 and G94. Ooh, I actually think these colors will work pretty well together. So it is like 2 mid-tones and 1 lighter tone, so these will work really well to layer and to blend, I believe. The pinkish color is a bit warmer too, which will brighten up the other more earthy, cooler tones, and by layering them I can create new colors and textures, so I think this will be pretty awesome. If you hear some weird noises in the background, it is just my cat snoring. I don't know if you noticed, but I did actually redraw the dress. I think I included both clips when inking them though, so you probably already seen it. I thought the first dress that I made was a bit too simple because the Baroque Rococo dresses are super decorated and detailed, and I wanted it to match Baylee's line art a bit more and have those ruffled sleeves, so I changed it a bit and I'm very pleased with how it turned out. And one thing I think is really fun with this collab and this way of switching and finishing each other's line art is that you get both our art styles in the same drawing. Baylee's style is more clean and neat, while mine is more thick and sketchy. And we also have different ways of drawing cats obviously, so it is fun seeing them side to side. And I'm actually really loving this color scheme because when mixing and layering the different colors, it turns into this velvet looking texture, which I think looks really nice and fitting for the clothes and the characters. And it is funny because before I even picked the markers, I was picturing the clothes in this drawing in a yellow greenish color, so when I saw the colors I was gonna work with, I was like, yes! And yeah, I'm a very enthusiastic person. I'm also really loving the blue cats, and that is what I like about the free marker challenge. You have a very limited amount of colors and you just have to do the best with what you got. So you have to work with colors you wouldn't normally use and you have to be creative. I usually just make my cats grey with stripes, so making blue cats for once was a really nice change. Also, how are you liking the different camera angles, by the way? It is something I've been wanting to do for months now, but I always forget about it when I start drawing. I finally found a good way of placing a tripod on the desk besides me instead of the floor besides me. I was always so nervous that my cat would knock over the tripod and the camera when I was standing on the floor, so I think this is a pretty good solution for the lower camera angles. And I'm using a Gorilla tripod, so I can adjust the angle in any way that I like, and I think it works pretty well so far. I'm still experimenting, so let me know what you think. And I tried keeping a good balance in the colors between the gentleman cat and the lady cat, using the same amount of green, blue and pink to tie them together even more. And there are a few things I would change if I could, like the collar thing on the dress. I wish I left it white like the collar on the male clothes. And I was also about to add a background, like a Baroque pattern and all that fancy stuff, but when I got closer to finishing the drawing, I thought that it would probably be too much since the pattern would be very detailed, and I only have so many colors to work with, so I was afraid that the background would take over too much, so I skipped that idea. So yeah, the background looks a bit empty, but there's also so much details and textures going on the characters themselves, so I think that is enough really. And then the blue marker started to run out of ink just as I was about to finish this drawing, and I don't know what happened to it. It is like there was ink leaking out in the cap that was gluing it to the marker, so I couldn't even open it at the end. And when I used all my strength to open it, I pulled out the whole ink barrel. I don't know what's going on here. Have that ever happened to you? But yeah, I think that is all I had to say about this piece. I loved making it and I had a lot of fun. Thanks Baylee for doing another collab with me. I'm so excited to see what you have made with the line art I gave you. Guys, if you haven't watched Baylee's video yet, do it now. Go subscribe to her and all that, you won't regret it. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new here, and I will see you next time. Keep drawing my happy cats. Bye!